probably the most this thing's rolled in years. It may not get away from me, I don't know. Alright, welcome back to Corey's Garage, and you got to be asking yourself one question. He said he was not going to stop on the Blazer till it was done. Well, when I was blowing the gas lines out on the Blazer, I blew varnished gas all over the place. Well, guess where it landed? On the front seat for that Scout. So what I came up with is like, well, I'll just go get the Scout, bring it over, put the seat back in it. And mind you, I'm going to be removing the seat anyways to clean it out and put a new bed floor in it. But I'm tired of tripping over it, and I don't want to, you know, damage it. And I keep moving it here and moving it there. And it's time let's just put it in there. So I went and got the Scout. I'm going to roll it down here, put the seat in it. And it probably looks a little different since the last time you guys seen it. Let's go over and I'll show you guys what I've been doing with it and everything. So yeah, let's get this unloaded, roll it down there, and we'll put the seat in. So you're probably wondering, what is it that he has done to this thing since we last saw it? Well, look at that. Look at that and tell me how awesome that looks. Fantastic. I just absolutely love the way this thing looks. So what I did is I removed the factory wheels. It's got the disc brake steel wheels on it. I cleaned them, blasted them, painted them, and I used that Van Sickle tractor paint. And I repainted the wheels, did the best I could with them, and I found a used set because I wasn't for sure what size tire I wanted to put on this. I wanted to initially do a 33 10.5, but I don't think it has enough lift on it. And that's something, you know, down the road I'll worry about, but I really am happy with the way this thing's sitting. Pretty cool rig. So I did that, and then if you notice, I didn't have a key for it, so I had to like really do some thinking about it, because I was like, well, I'll pull the steering wheel, change out that lock cylinder. Well, it's really not that easy. Last one I did like that, I ruined the steering column, and so being that this is so rare, and I don't know where you get a steering column for this thing at, I went ahead and called a few locksmiths. Well, the first one couldn't do it. Called another guy. He was kind of iffy about it. And then finally got a hold of another guy. He's like, yeah, if it's got a Chevrolet style ignition switch, whatever you call that, he said, I can do it. So he came out, and sure enough, man, he got it switched out. We got it rekeyed. So now and this is a manual transmission rig, so you got to do that there. But yeah, we now have a key and we can steer this thing, so not too shabby. But yeah, I haven't done much on the interior since you last saw it. I did remove the battery and all that good stuff. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I did that or not when you guys saw it last, but yeah, man, this thing's rad. I love it. Power steering, power brakes, disc brakes, Dana 44 front axle, Dana 44 rear. In my opinion, this is probably the best one to get your hands on, really. But yeah, it's got a little bit of rust on it here and there, but I just got, as I said, I just finished looking at one, and it's just down the road. And I love the patina on it. It's a 345 V8. Well, I'm pretty sure it's 304 or 345, but I couldn't get the hood open on it. but it was so bad, like the middle of the body is just gone on it. They've let it rot to the ground and everything, and they don't want to sell it and all that kind of stuff. So ironically, I was pretty bummed out that I couldn't get that one. And then I'm talking the same day that they told me they didn't want to sell it, I found this one, which I kind of already found a long time ago. I just had forgotten about it. But yeah, man, I am super happy with this thing. I love it. I'm still pretty dead set on putting the LS in it with the 4L60 overdrive and using the GM transfer case and stuff. And but now for the next part, this is gonna be pretty sketchy. That thing has no brakes. The master cylinder's locked up tight, and this is all downhill. And if you see, we're gonna just kamikaze our way down here and park next to the Ford truck so we can get in there with that seat. And then I'll probably load it up and go take it back. Now you're gonna ask yourself, why don't he just have somebody help him? Well, in the time that I have to do this, everybody's working. So, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to load it. Like I said, I'll have to have someone with me. And this way, man, I've got such a good towing setup that, man, I had this loaded in like 8 minutes. I mean, it's really not hard at all to get this loaded up and unloaded, so. But yeah, I still don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing. It seems like it's froze up. People I bought it from said it had like the engine was blown up, so I don't know. But obviously they've got the distributor cap off of it. I don't know, man. I'm probably just gonna throw it away. I mean, like I said, I don't have any, even if I did get it running, I don't have any use for it. I don't know anybody who would even look at that. This thing's garbage, man. So yeah, this is going to be a boat anchor, maybe a trot line weight. Yeah, so this is definitely going to go to the scrapper. That's a Chevrolet style alternator. But yeah, so let's get this bad boy rolled down to the garage, and let's try not to run into anything or run over any dogs. That is my dog, Charlie. That is not my dog. That's the neighbor's dog, but it decides it lives with us for some reason. I guess you don't pick the dogs, they pick you, so. All right, let's roll. So you got to be asking yourself, why would you do this? Steers? I mean, bad things can happen, but I'm pretty confident I can make this work. But yeah, let's give this thing a push, see if we can get it rolled down there. Oh man, I don't know if I can push this heavy thing. Maybe not, hold on. Probably the most this thing's rolled in years. It may not get away from me, I don't know. Alright. Making some speed. I guess you could say this would be a first drive, but yeah. Brakes are locked up solid. Pretty exciting, really. Doesn't take much to please us kind of guys. Oh yeah. Like it was nothing. What was I worried about? Huh. Well, I guess our door doesn't open now. It did open. Now when I had the guy do the lock, the door lock or whatever, I had him try to rekey the doors, and he wasn't able to do it. I'll have to get a new set of locks, but that was working. I wonder if an arm came off or something. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna push it anymore. Awesome, we made it. So all right, we got this thing rolled down here. Go dig the seat out. As soon as my bride in there finishes with her meeting, she'll be helping me put it in. Got the Ford power washed and cleaned up today. I gave the side of it a little bit of that Comet wash that I've seen them talk about on different car deals. Not too shabby. Did kind of Comet wash my way down to some primer and it freaked me out and I said I'm done. So, but yeah, man, this truck is clean. I mean, for the most part. It's got the damage on the right side from that stump, but man, if somebody was needing a good farm truck or wanting to build a good wheeling rig or chop this down, make a short bed, this would be the one to do it. This has all new ball joints. We've went through both axles. It's got a Aussie locker in the front, a spool in the 9-inch in the rear, all the ball joints, U-joints, knuckle joints, all that stuff's been replaced. Engine's kind of been re-gasketed like halfway. I put a new timing chain in it. It's got an aftermarket, really nice heater set up in the dash, so this thing will cook you out. But yeah, that's probably gonna be for sale here soon. I'm gonna drive it around a little bit, but I really have gotten to the point I got too much stuff sitting around and little time to keep up with it. So yeah, probably be selling that soon. But yeah, let's go in here. Let's get our seat. You'll see what I was talking about when I blew out the gas lines on. I should have known better. I should have blown them from the rear to the front. But yeah, this thing had some stanky gas in it. So yeah, I had a big gas can, and like things do, the hose slipped out of the gas can and sprayed that crap all over the place and got it on the seat. So for now, to keep from damaging the seat and tearing it up, I'm just gonna put it back in there and bolt it in and actually have a seat in this thing with the correct seat and see how it feels. So as soon as I get a little hand out here, I'm gonna put that in there. But yeah, this is a beautiful springtime day. All right, so I've had some lunch and we put the seat in earlier. Wasn't able to record that, but I've got to find some fine threaded, like 3/8 style bolts. I may be wrong, they may be a scotch smaller, but there is that bench seat. Looks pretty good. Still rolls back and forward. I've got a pair of vice grips on one of them because the threads are like stripped out on it. But yeah, that's kind of just like holding it down in the brackets. But it looks like someone heavy has driven this thing because the brackets are kind of bent on the driver. Yeah, I know the seat's not in that great a shape. I mean, actually, it really is. It's in pretty good shape, actually. But yeah, it folds for, well, I'll wait till I get it bolted all the way down. But yeah, I got to get some bolts tonight. But yeah, man, that definitely has a feel for it. All right, so not bad. I feel pretty good in here. I really like this truck, man. This thing is so cool. But yeah, it feels good. I mean, it sits just right for me. But yeah, definitely pedals feel in range. Yeah, unfortunately, I probably won't be going to a stick shift. We'll just have an automatic shifter with a transfer case shifter. But yeah, this thing is rad, man. And it goes back, makes me really start, wondering why people would always take bench seats out for, bucket seats and everything. But yeah, this thing is really surprisingly pretty comfortable. Can't get really that good of a view here, but it makes me kind of wonder why people, you always see like in all the Chevelles and stuff like that, everybody ditches the bench seat and does the bucket seats. They look better in my opinion, but with the El Camino, that K5 Blazer, now this, it's making me really wonder why anybody would do that. I guess it's just a sporty thing to do, but I mean, would I like to have buckets in this thing? Maybe. But as of right now, this thing feels right. So I think I'm gonna just use what I have. Now, would I like to use an International 304, 345 with whatever transmission would work with it? If it's automatic, it'd be the 727, like what comes in any of your other Mopars. I don't know what manual trans would go to that. I mean, would I like that? Absolutely, but the likeliness of getting something that's working and running in good shape and just, I don't really know a lot about them, and like the interchangeability, if I end up missing something or don't need something, or I mean, I do need something and don't have it, it's going to be very difficult to find. You know, there's only like a couple people that probably have it. It's going to be likely very expensive. And I think, being that I'm going to have one original four-wheel drive truck, I think I'm going to go ahead and I want to make this where I can drive it pretty often. You know, get in, hit the key, and take off. And I think the LS, the overdrive, a nice, you know, it's going to be the NP208 transfer case. So, I mean, I could put a 205 or something like that in it, but I just don't. This isn't going to be a rock crawler. I'm mainly wanting to go for, can I take this thing and drive it 700-800 miles and not be absolutely miserable? And what I've learned with my motorhome is I don't want to be driving 55 miles an hour at 3,000 RPMs. So, you know, I've definitely got some things to think about. But, you know, with everything Scout, there's a few other places I found different mounts and all that kind of stuff. It really is like these were made for that setup. So that is I'm about 90% sure that's the direction this is going to head. But in the meantime, before I can even get to that, I've got some rust repair to do. I got to put that bed floor in. I've got a little bit of stuff to fix here in the cab, just small stuff. This door actually will need more work than what you would think, but I mean, it's not a bad deal. I'd have to say the worst part of this whole truck is the top. The top is kind of rough, and I may find another one, but I'm gonna try to use it. But yeah, I mean, I mainly get all the rust fixed, get everything kind of cleaned up. I have put a battery in it. All the lights in it work, the turn signals. The only thing not working is the dash, like the backlighting on the gauges and stuff, but the brake light comes on. Even the charging needle moves a little bit. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that all that stuff's going to work. So, you know, it looks clean, looks untouched. So, we'll see what happens, you know. But that's going to be it from the old International today. I'll get some bolts tonight, and then I'm going to go ahead and bolt that down and probably let it sit here for a little bit and just look at it, you know. I haven't really spent much time to get up, you know, besides looking for rust and just cleaning the trash that was in it out. But, yeah. So, definitely a good-looking rig, man, and I think it's definitely the one I want, so I'm pretty happy with it. But, yeah, I think that'll be the end of this video, and you guys have a good day.